All right, you ready?
Ready.
Welcome
We're
back
back!
to Me and Virgil,
We're alive!
a Genesis Brothers podcast.
Well, me and Virgil, we beat the desert, riding fast and riding hard. We hit the city, the past behind us, so we raised some hell. We had some fun, washing dishes and making...
All right, hi folks. So it's been a while, and we apologize first off for our spontaneous, unintended temporary hiatus.
Well, I just wanted to go for a record Tabletop Genesis reference that we made, I think, in the first minute here that I'm going to mention, is they were also not doing much this year too, because as you probably all know, 2025 was quite a year with some things going on that weren't good. And Dan moved again, and lots of upheavals and ups and downs and changes and things, just with everything going on.
Yeah. This is kind of what we're going to be. A little part of what we're talking about today, and also, as we all know, depending on when you're listening to this and everything, the current date where we're recording this is the 28th of December, 2025. So we're only literally just a few days before the end of this year, and we really, really wanted to get one more episode in before the year is out.
We're on the rind of the year, right at the end.
Yeah. To say hello, sorry for the silence.
The silent sun that never shines.
But we wanted to explain what's been going on this year and also what's going to be coming up for us in the new year. Basically, more episodes, that's for sure. You know, more regular episodes as well. That's for sure. So that's what this last episode is about. Plus, it's going to be a short one, a little quick, half an hour. Let's see if we
say that now, but you never know.
Sorry, no comment.
Meanwhile, 2 hours later. Okay, now we're going to finish right now. So yeah. So this is where we are at. So yes, Virgil, good to see you again and everything. Hope you had a nice Christmas and all that, and enjoyed the holidays, festive seasons, and all that and everything. Love your T-shirt. That is very, very
I know.
nice.
I thought I'd break it out. It's been a while. Yeah.
This again is a custom-made T-shirt.
Yes, it's the one I wear to concerts specifically. This is the musical box. I wear this one. Yes. Ask me about my podcast.
I love it. I mean, technically speaking, you could sell that.
If people want that, I guess I could do. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I custom made it myself, so it's all our material.
You did custom make it yourself. You're not. I mean, technically speaking, you're just using font. That's all, right? You're not like
our faces.
Anything. It's our faces. It's font that already exists, right? It's not like it's a font that Genesis, album creators developed themselves or anything. So it's technically existing fonts. So yeah, okay then, good.
Not at all. No.
Oh, that looks nice. Looks very pretty.
Yeah,
very
so there was a
pretty.
person at Musical Box. I hope she's still listening at the Musical Box concert, who I gave a card to, and I hope she's still listening. And she was again right.
Hello.
I fell in love with the Musical Box, and really looking forward to possibly seeing them in 2026. But we'll get to that. And then I wore it for Ozzy Floyd this last August. When a guy came over and said, "Oh, you're a Genesis fan, huh?" I was like, "Yeah, I got a podcast." And then he proceeded to grill me, saying,
To what you?
Grill me with questions.
I'll grill you. Right.
When did Lamb come out? The Lamb Lies. I said, "Oh, the Lamb Lies not on Broadway? You mean 1974?"
Oh, yes.
So what's the first Genesis album? Well, that depends on your opinion of the first album. And yes, I just splurged, and he went away impressed, I think. So hopefully he's listening too, and if you are, welcome.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's good questions to ask, right? It's like you go to Genesis podcast, so I'm guessing you must be a fan.
I will have to do it for some episode. There's a trivia thing that my wife is on, and it's like daily trivia questions. You have 5 of them, I think. You have to get right on all random stuff, and every once in a while they'll do something very specific. And one time last year they did Genesis, and I need to pull up those questions to grill you, Dan, because I got them all, but stuff like Ray Wilson's original band name, who was the drummer on Trespass, things like that, really specific, like little things you might not know. And yeah. Oh, who's the band Chester Thompson was with before joining Genesis?
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
It does remind me a little bit, actually, where years ago, and I have shared this before, where I kind of brought myself onto this opportunity to record at Real World Studios with these other people and everything. Anyway, the night we arrived,
put the photo up there, Dan. Put the photo up there.
I'll try and get the photograph somewhere, yeah, and hopefully it should be around here somewhere. And we, me and this other guy wrote a song together, and we released it and everything on Real World Studio Records. That was pretty
on the
very
piano
honorable
that
and,
bloody Peter Gabriel.
Yeah,
played on.
I played on the I forgot the name. It's a German name. Apologies. And I also played on the drum kit and using my own cymbals, which I transported from England. But then one of the engineers, I said, well, whose cymbals are these? These were like K cymbals. And the guy said, oh, I think those are Peter's. It's like, oh, no, really? Anyway, but the night we all arrived, the people in charge, they welcomed us. Why did
you change real quick? You changed it just because you wanted to have your cymbals. It wasn't like you tried these out. I
always,
these no.
I always, no. I knew obviously you couldn't bring my own kit, but I was like, one thing, I'm going to bring my own cymbals. That's for sure. So at least
that way you know exactly how they sound for everything. Yeah, makes sense.
Exactly. So plus there's Sabian and Phil Collins uses Sabian as well and everything. So it was.
And they are paying you a lot of money, aren't they? No, sorry, not yet. Soon.
All the way
Call
around.
him.
But anyway, the night we arrived, there was lovely reception there, and anyway, they were doing a quiz about Peter Gabriel and all this stuff, and then they said, "Okay, this is the big question here: how many drummers has Genesis had?" And we're like, "Oh, goody!" And this is including, even the Ray Wilson era and things like this, including studio drummers and live drummers too, and everything. And it felt like a list bigger than Spinal.
I'm trying to remember, was it just Near Z, or did they have another drummer as well?
They had Near Z, and they had
another guy.
Nick,
Dear Virgilio. Yeah, that was him. Okay, yeah, I know him.
Yeah. Who plays with Spock's beard and things. And he has worked a lot with Steve Hackett as well. And he is a monster. He is a monster.
Yeah, that's right. He was on Steve Hackett's tour now, isn't he? Yeah, or he has been.
Yes, he's joined them on tour. And then actually the drummer that they had before that as well is also a guy called Felix. I should get the name up as well. His full name is going to be here. Okay.
Well, there.
What's very special about this guy is that apparently until he returns and Nick's taking the place, he's actually Steve Hackett's permanent drummer now. I don't know if it's live drummer or just permanent drummer. Because Craig Blundell, who is also a legend monster, he has to step back for whatever reasons. Anyway,
I heard via this other little show called Tabletop Genesis that he's retiring, I think, and I'm calling it basically. And
what? He's so young.
Maybe not.
What?
Maybe not.
Okay.
Then.
Well, anyway,
or maybe he wants to start his own band or something.
Maybe yeah. Well, the guy Felix. Turns out I technically kind of toured with the guy back in 2012. We were the support act, and he was the drummer for this guy. Called Mick Donay, who was a Voice of Germany contestant who got very, very far in the competition. This is all back in when I was living in Berlin, and we had 2012 was a whole year of touring for me. Anyway, and one of the very last tour that year, he was touring around Germany, and we were the support band. We were an acoustic band, but he was playing, and his drummer is that drummer Felix. And first of all, the first thing I noticed about him was like, he's a left-handed drummer. Cool, Anyway, so we got chatting for a little bit, and then suddenly I'm like, oh, it's Steve Hackett's drummer, and I'm like, oh my god, Felix, that's so crazy, freaky. So I'm like,
another little link you have now with Steve, don't you? Yeah, another connection.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. All right, people. So right. So obviously this year we thought was gonna kick off was gonna be a great year for us and me and Virgil. We're gonna January came by and we not only came up with one but I believe 2 episodes in that month, and then the year just kind of went.
Didn't we record those in 2024 too?
We actually could record those the year before that, yeah. And then
we didn't record one in 2020.
Yeah. So we released those in that, and I thought, oh great, we're off to a fantastic start. But then, between us and everything, lives got in the way. And then, as Virgil mentioned, that I moved country again. I'm now back in Spain again. But I do intend to stick around here for a long, long time. So we are very, very happy where we are now.
And me's camera will get a lot better once he remembers his webcam next time.
Yes. So that was because of that. I moved it like in end of April, May time.
Plus,
then, of
we
course,
have
was
a
just setting up with stuff.
just to drop in another tabletop Genesis thing. Unlike tabletop Genesis, who live next to each other, and actually, I think they both live in New Jersey. We're 9 hours apart, so that makes it a little trickier too.
Well, we tried to get together a little bit earlier in the fall to record a tribute episode for Richard McPhail. But unfortunately,
we McPhailed.
You beat me too. I was about to say the same thing. So obviously, we wanted to get together for that, but again, things got in the way and everything. So,
And as you get closer to the holiday season, things get crazier for everyone.
yes, wonderfully crazy. So I got in touch with Virgil last week, and I just said, let's just try and get one more in, just to say
Squeeze it in and say we did
goodbye,
something in 2025.
yeah. So, all right, what is upcoming for us in the future episodes? Well, obviously, again, this year we wanted to get together and discuss the release of The Lamb, which, again, we were going to do that, I believe, maybe in June. One of the original release dates for The Lamb, we are going to get together with that. But, of course, that kept the Lamb date for itself kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed. Finally, it came out in, September 25th?
Something like that.
Somewhere
End of September,
somewhere around
yeah.
there. End of September that came out finally, and I'm guessing that is your copy of it right there.
So there's a story behind this copy. Well, not this exact copy, but getting a copy of it for me. So I pre-ordered in January 2024. And then I waited for April to come around impatiently. And then it went past and they said, yeah, it's coming out late June. And then I waited 3 more months impatiently until June came. And they said, yeah, it's coming out in September. And then I waited another 3 or 4 months impatiently, and it finally got to September, and it wasn't shipping. And I got busy with other stuff and kind of forgot about it, and we kept waiting for this thing to ship, and it kept saying, yeah, we're going to get our copies in on October. Okay, good. Yeah, we're going to come in late October. Oh, okay, we're going to get them in November. And then come early December, I'm like, okay, this is it. I'm done. I'm done waiting. It was some company in Germany, and I don't know what happened, but I said, I need a refund. And then I ordered it somewhere else for cheaper because it had been a while since it had been out. And then finally I got it and waited until Christmas Day to open it for myself. And here it is. And I finally got it a year later, basically.
beautiful.
And I'm very happy. I don't know if we want to
looks
preview
beautiful.
anything yet, but it is I got to say it's a work of art. I haven't actually listened to it yet. I listened to it when it came out on Spotify, which was a lot of fun.
Okay.
But I haven't actually listened to it on the vinyl, obviously. Put it this way: out of all the box sets and things they've ever released, this is the most beautiful thing they've done. I'll just say that.
Nice.
It is impressive. They put a lot of work into it, and it's worth it. Every penny.
Nice. Oh my, I'm actually on the Wikipedia page for Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. Oh, 26th of December it came out. 26th of December. Right. So exactly one day after our late grandmother's birthday. All right, so this is what we'll be discussing, obviously, in the new year. I mean, I have no idea if Tabletop Genesis actually made their own episode about it. I've not been
They
following
did.
them this year. They did? Okay, fine.
They'd actually got a very cool thing. Just to give them the massive plug we always do. It was actually their last episode, which came out not too long ago, actually. It might have been late
Right.
November, early December. But they got to go to a special, listening party in New York for it. That they did. And it was
nice.
20 people there, all obviously massive Genesis fans. And they just got to listen to the entire Lamb in Dolby Atmos surround sound, sitting in a cinema.
What, just
type
the
thing.
album or like the
Just the album,
live-
the whole, not the live
the
album.
album,
I think it was just
not
the
the
album,
live album.
but just hearing it
Okay.
entirely with your surround sound and stuff. It
Nice.
sounded pretty amazing. Yeah. And then they were talking about. Here's where we will differ. They were talking about the CD release that they had, whereas we'll be talking about the vinyl.
Yes, of course. Yes. All right, excellent. So yeah, that will be coming up, and obviously Richard McPhail's one will be coming up as well. Another thing we wanted to discuss about as well was the what do you call it, the deluxe edition release of Phil's Both Sides.
Give me 1 second. Let me be the prop man.
Virgil. Yep. There we are, right there, ladies and gentlemen. So, it's just cool. This is what also was just get my notes together for. This is called the deluxe edition, or what is this edition?
It is
called?
all sides.
Both
sides. All sides. All the sides.
All sides of the story. Yes. Okay, cool. Right. Just out of curiosity, does that all sides feature the track Deep Water Town? on
No.
it.
But that
Okay,
is
fine.
that does get. I mean, I guess you call it a track. It's mainly Phil just saying "Deep Water Town" about 45 times.
Okay, Q Phil.
I mean, he does like
There we
what
go.
3 or
Yes.
4 chords on the piano, and that's pretty much it. But
That is pretty
also,
much
it's
it,
cool. We'll include
Well,
a
the-
link in
the-
here, but it's like a
Yeah.
hidden demo.
Well, this was
thing.
the big major
Yeah.
Phil scratcher for Phil, the head scratcher for Phil, because Phil scratcher, because he was like, it's a demo. It was a demo. I hadn't released it yet. Somehow, it got
Someone
online.
got it!
And
Hey,
and this
and-
is before the days of YouTube, and somehow
know.
it still ended
But
up.
yet, when they announced
out
it
there.
and we found it, we all lost our minds because it was great.
Yeah.
It was unheard
Yeah.
of music.
Yeah. Well, when I first came across it, it was this. I can't remember what it was now, but this random CD of a bunch of artists on one CD, and it was kind of like this underwatery effect, whatever, thing like this. And I'm like, oh, what's this? And I looked on it, and then said track 2, Phil Collins, Deep Water Town. I was like, what the heck is this? What is this? And yeah, so it was just this. I don't know what the concept was, but to do with water.
It was to do
some
with
natural aspects there.
towns that a town that got flooded, which they
Yeah.
sometimes do when they're building a dam in certain areas, and they
Hmm.
it doesn't. I don't think it happened that often, but it has happened, especially in the U.S. During the past, where they have to create a dam, and they basically have to. It's going to basically flood an entire town, and the town will be at the bottom of the dam or under the water there, and so they basically move everyone else out somewhere else, and then make it, and so it's a deep water town. But cool thing, it inspired a short story I wrote this year called Deep Water Town, which was for a haunted western type story, which I wrote, which I called Deep Water Town, about a town that's flooded underground, and about this kid who goes swimming and tries to find stuff underneath that he can try and sell for his very poor family, and then he finds a ghost under there, acting out a shootout from the Western days. Yeah. But the hard part was it had to be under 1,000 words, and that was really hard because I don't like to use. Don't like to use a lot of words. I like to spell, create a whole story. So it was very hard to do that. But anyway, thanks, Phil, because you helped inspire that story.
There you go. There you go. Well, I mean, it's not the first time that that band, Phil, or that band has inspired you to write stories. I do recall a story that you wrote back in your younger days, a particular story called Home by the Sea.
Well, that was my first novel. It was 40
Yes.
pages long, and of course,
And I
there's
loved
the
it.
episode of the Austrian podcast called Home by the Sea.
Yes. 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 So there we go.
So
right.
there was another box set that came out this year by Mr. Phil Collins. Did you know that?
I don't believe I did.
So both sides came out 2024.
Right.
This one came out in September 2025.
Oh, yes. Right.
What do they call it?
Wait, what's it say?
No jacket
Fully
required. Fully tailored.
Fully
So I didn't find out about this until I think
What the
late
flip?
summer. Late summer.
Okay.
So
Wow.
here's what's happening. It seems like they're releasing a box set of Phil on vinyl every year now. That's what I'm kind of guessing. Since they did
Okay.
both sides and they're doing no jacket required now. I think it's mainly for hardcore vinyl fans like myself of Phil, and it's I think for people with the his his deluxe releases that he did of all the albums and stuff for his Take a Look at Me Now thing.
Yes.
That was only on CD. It wasn't on vinyl. You could get the remastered version on vinyl,
Right.
but it was just the album.
Right.
None of those extra tracks. And that's what this is. What's cool is that they're making them longer and then throwing a bunch of extra stuff on there. But
Cool.
like the demos and the B-sides, and then a bunch of random live tracks on there. Like, we'll cover it in the episode when we do it. But like on here, there's a random, what was there? Oh, the Live Aid version of Long, Long Way to Go.
Cool.
A BBC Live version of One More Night. And then they have a thing which I'd heard a little bit of called the Medley Mega Mix,
Okay.
which features songs from the album, which I'm not gonna. I've only found that on random places and sharing places in the distant past.
Okay.
I didn't know would it ever get an official release, and I didn't know it was. I thought it was just some guy who made it, but I guess it was a little more official than that since it's on an album here. But we'll talk about that when we cover that episode.
Okay, cool.
Anyway, so I don't know this for sure, but my my Phil senses are telling me that we might get another box set come September, which will be obviously face value Hello, I Must Be Going, Dance Into the Light, or Testify. We'll see.
Makes sense. Yeah, because I'm just trying to see if there's a pattern here or something like that. Because both
Well, because
sides.
I'm trying to remember the first two that came. Oh, But Seriously, obviously, is the other one, which which is my favorite Phil album. Sorry, I missed that. But I think I remember when they brought those first reissues out. I think it was Face Value and But Seriously, I want to say at the same time. They released two at a time over like a few months or something like that. Yeah. So
Right.
there's no system, it seems. Oh no, it was Face Value on both sides. That's what it was.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, one of the reasons we also wanted to talk about both sides, apart from its recent release, was because that the tour of the both sides of the world tour, I think we called it, that was the very first concert that we ever actually went to in our lives, where our father took us out of school, made us sky school for 2 days. I think the concert was on a Thursday or something like this, and
Wow.
we drove to Madrid,
All the way up
from
to
Malaga.
Madrid,
yes, which is quite a few hours drive, and
halfway across
with
the
help-
country. Or two, yeah, a little more than
Yes,
halfway.
and I believe with the help with his
Cousin.
cousin. Yes, obviously we'll go into deeper details about this. But yeah, we watched our very first ever concert, which I believe was the year 1994
I think it was 94, yeah. At the Bull Ring.
at the Ballroom.
And I have a weird memory of him explaining the song I Wish It Would Rain Down about
Oh yeah,
relationship and when you have multiple girlfriends or whatever it was, and he just kept
Yeah.
saying mierda, mierda, mierda.
yeah. But I think because he was in a hotel lobby somewhere, then another girlfriend walked in at
Yep,
the same time. And that was the first. I mean, I was like 13, and that was the first time I ever heard anyone
Swear.
say "mierda," and I was like, "What does that mean?" Like, it's like, oh. So yeah,
I also remember after the concert too, when we all left the Bull Ring and it was like 11 o'clock or something, and just like all these people charging down the street.
I have literally no memory.
Well, you were
after
2
the
years younger
concert
than
at all.
me, so yeah, it was pretty young.
Yeah, zero memory of it afterwards. Yeah, but it was a great night. But anyway, like I said, we'll go into deeper details about that. But obviously, that was a very special time for us. Big Phil fans, still so young. Right?
Oh, and the cool version we heard of Only You Know and I Know on that for that
Yeah.
show. That's on the
Yeah, which actually I just heard recently. That version.
that's on the fully tailored version too of the album.
Yeah, like it's
Very
like
cool.
basically he just played live a remix version, which is very very cool. So yeah, and of course we got introduced to, well, not introduced, but we found out about Ricky Lawson, his new drum on that tour.
The late Ricky Lawson,
That's like,
sadly.
because they're late Ricky Lawson. Yes, still really tragic after all these years, and then finding out that Ricky Lawson was already a legend at that point, after already been touring with Michael Jackson prior to
And it
that.
was so cool seeing Phil just sit behind this like pile of rubbish and just playing drums.
Yep.
And Ricky Lawson comes
Yeah.
tapping his body and making incredible drum
Yeah.
sounds.
Yeah.
It was very
We
cool.
thankfully there's quite a few bootlegs. Well, not bootlegs, actually, videos of that tour, because I think he did that tour for like 2 years straight. And just kept going and
both
going.
sides of the world. He went all over, yeah.
Yeah, and so obviously there were a lot of like TV broadcasts of that tour. So I think there's in South America one broadcast, it's in Japan another broadcast there. So thankfully there's a lot of footage, not like officially released footage, but there's still tons of footage from that tour.
I can't remember if I actually looked if there was anything from Madrid. There might have been something. I'm not sure.
I've actually looked.
But there was a very good documentary they've put together that came out about the Both Sides tour and stuff that is on YouTube, where they're talking about how the press was skewering him and telling him he's a has-been and done and nobody cares, and yet here he is selling out every show across the entire planet.
Well,
So
it was the funny thing, because the album did not sell very well, but yet the tour sold immensely well. And if you recall, on that tour, we did buy a VHS video cassette tape of Phil behind the scenes while still rehearsing for that tour.
Yeah.
And they're in a studio, I believe, somewhere in I think Chiddingford in England somewhere.
Didn't
And,
Genesis
yeah.
rehearse there?
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, and it's very cool footage. And basically, Phil is filming as if he's in the future, saying, "Thank you for buying this."
That's
tape
right. That
and
is cool.
everything.
Yeah, and he was.
It was a very cool idea.
Ride and stuff too, and just
Yeah. He was using. I mean, basically, he was just filming in complete selfie mode, but of course, just with a camera that's just turned around. We're talking like 1993, 94 time here, so long before the days.
Is that on
of,
YouTube?
Like,
do you know?
Yeah, it's on YouTube too. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. I haven't seen that in a long time. That'd be fun. Or link it.
Up Close and Personal, I think it's called something. Oh no, a closer look.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, Phil being wonderful Phil, that he always wants to make sure he lets the world know that it's not just him, and not just his band or even his crew. There's tons of people, and throughout this an hour and a half maybe video, he does go around. I don't know if it's him personally doing himself, but you do see like every single person of his entire corporation being introduced, who they are and what they do. So he always makes sure to share that, which is so fantastic of him. So yeah, it's a very good thing to watch. We'll add that in as well.
Wasn't it also this year that in 2025 they found or released the We Can't Dance, some rehearsal stuff, tour footage from that too? I can't remember if it had been out before or maybe I just finally came across it. But I saw some tour stuff from We Can't Dance, and just them rehearsing. One was in Texas, I think it was, and a bunch of stuff, and then like them doing Living Forever live and stuff like that.
Oh, that was I don't know if that came out this year or last year. Well, not live. It was only just a rehearsal. They
No, of course,
they
yeah,
never
rehearsal
actually took
stuff,
on the
yeah.
road. Yeah,
But you're like a
They never
taste
took on
of
the
what could have
road.
been.
That's true, but that's true. There was up until that point, there was always just this little 30-second snippet from this news broadcast. But then suddenly, somehow, thanks to the world of YouTube, the entire performance is there as a rehearsal. Just living forever. Yeah.
Yep.
And again, golden gem to
even if Tony does have the wrong setting on the keyboard and it sounds the wrong key at first, and he has to change it with the solo.
Yes. Yeah. But it's still wonderful to see, because it's one of my favorite songs of theirs from that album as well.
So
and I love the
powerful.
drumming as well.
And there was another one of
instrumental.
them rehearsing. I don't know if it might have been Chiddingford, but I feel like it was maybe. But just somewhere again in the UK for the We Can't Dance tour. It's just stuff just keeps surfacing.
They showed they're rehearsing Filth the Fifth, which is actually in that We Can't Dance
that's right.
tour documentary.
Yeah.
But this was somehow a longer version of it somehow. Again, who knows where this is coming from?
Well, that's why I feel
and
like I feel like the making of We Can't Dance tour, not making of the We Can't Dance album documentary, All Access. No, I can't remember what it was called. Do you remember?
No admittance.
No admittance. There we go. I feel like there's another half hour of that somewhere, probably too, of them do other stuff. And I just want it all. I want the whole extended cut.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's a whole bunch of other stuff that was released this year in random spots in time, but unfortunately, can't think what it is now. But well, if we
there was
come
the
across it again,
4K
we'll
of
next year.
Bataclan.
Oh yeah, that was insane. That was insane. We will leave a link for that too. And then just recently, you forwarded it to me, the 4K thing of
Three Sides? No.
seriously live in Berlin.
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not everyone's opinion,
and-
but my opinion, the best show of the tour.
Yeah, and it's great to see that too, because the sound a little bit better, and picture wise as well. It's great. You can actually hear proper details, because I only still in my ear I still hear our VHS copy of it. So which sound wasn't so
quality.
great. And
Yeah,
even
yeah.
my friend Kian, he got the DVD of that show, and he was hoping to have a better sound. And he even said on the DVD, he still said, "Yeah, it's not great." But actually, to hear now, because I think this guy, he did like a whole remastering in a particular way.
Well, there was someone
and,
involved with the, I can't remember, with the tour. It was just someone actually involved with it who was helping to do it too, on the video.
Right. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. So actually, I can hear like actual details, fine-tuning details of what's
you
going
couldn't hear
on there.
before.
So it's nice. It's nice. It's nice.
And
to
that
hear
is
too.
out of all of them, my absolute favorite version of Hand in Hand. That one, just that specific one right there. And that's the one they put on the Both Sides box set. And when I got that, I was just like almost in tears on the vinyl.
Oh, is it really?
Yes, just like again, they've kind of released everything, and so they throw some extra stuff on there, and that's what they decided to throw on there. I don't really know why. It probably will show up again on the But Seriously one, maybe. I don't know, or the Face Value one, rather, but I don't know. But anyway, it's my favorite. I was actually drumming to it the other day on my kid's drum kit. Because I love the songs of it.
Very nice. Okay, yeah. I still feel like my favorite version of that one is Hand in Hand, is from the Dancing to the Light tour, where Phil is just happily merrily because he's left Genesis. There's a massive weight off his shoulders, and you've got the extra trumpet solos from Harry Kim and Daniel. Oh, not from Daniel from Tettle, from the trombone player, whose name has escaped me now. Unfortunately, sorry. It just the vibe is just so.
And that's the one that's on the face
audience.
value.
The face value
extrovert one. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So anyway, we'll go. We can have a whole episode about that as well. Which version is your favorite version of live performances and things like this? I probably almost got a whole set list together.
One other thing that did come out.
Say our ideal
when
set
it
list
came out. 2 years ago now, I guess it was, is a reissue of Living Years. I think it's for. No, I don't think it was an anniversary edition. Anyway, it's a cool limited. Well, I don't know if it's limited, but fancy vinyl version. It's all like.
Whoa.
Anyway, so if we want to, we could also talk about this album and cover a Mike and the Mechanics album.
Perhaps. I mean, Phil. I mean, obviously, we all know that. Well, maybe not all of us know this, but from archive footage and everything, we know that Phil himself is a ginormous vinyl collector. And now,
I didn't know that actually. Okay.
Yeah, because I think there's some footage somewhere where he is in his home, and I can't remember for the life of me. He's got his '85 mullet kind of hairdo, and you just see it. You just see this like a shelf.
No jacket required, just a mullet.
Yeah. And there,
behind
and it's
him.
just instead of that looks like this, like books. It's not books. It's
records.
Records. Yeah, it's records. So
I mean, there was a funny thing someone shared earlier this year of just I need to win the lottery or get a special stipend for all the beautiful box sets, vinyl box sets they keep making because they cost so much money, and they're beautiful.
no, it's just nice that they still keep doing it and keeping the magic of this world, film, Genesis alive, because they can. And
when we cover this episode, you'll see just how much work they put into this, and it's pretty astounding. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
it's nice to know, and I think it's been selling well too.
And who would believe that we would get new stuff from an album like The Lamb that was made over 50 years ago, and yet we still got some new stuff. So very quickly, when it was first going to be released after 50 years, let alone the fact being that both Peter and Tony were in the same room again, remixing this album or overseeing.
So they did say that wonderful photo of them sitting next to each other, that was just a promo photo thing of saying, let's get a photo of you two together, and then they separated after. But anyway, it was still a very nice moment. And there was a nice, I don't know if you saw it, interview on radio. I can't remember which radio station it was, but it was Mike, Tony, and Steve all around with a DJ, and they were talking about 15 minutes.
That was really beautiful as well. I have to say, it felt so weird to see those four together and Phil not with them, because I believe he had just had surgery on his knee, if memory serves. So that's why he couldn't make this appearance. But it felt very bizarre without him. But it was nice that this still could take place, and to see the four of them together. I mean, I don't know what it is. But with at least with Peter's secret, that Peter kind of looks like he has done for the past 20 years. I know he feels like he hasn't really aged at all.
Sort
you
of
kind
like
of see a
Patrick
little bit with
Stewart
Mike
too.
and Tony and Steve.
Just looks the same. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
maybe it's
just
the shaved head.
I think it's because there's no hair. If you have no hair on the head, then you kind of look the same, right? But you can see with Tony that
it doesn't change color.
But Tony's now just
Gray.
a silver fox, right? Whereas Steve, Amanda, I'm guessing he dyes his hair still and everything.
Yeah,
or he just has.
Well, you saw him up close and personal. Could you tell? Could you see the roots?
No, I was just kind of still figuring what to say to him in the flesh.
You're just too flabbergasted.
No, I really was too flabbergasted.
Understandable. Your mouth was just the whole time you're near him.
So, but it was nice
God.
to see that, and then to find out that actually, and that somehow, I don't know how they got it, but that the live version of Lamb Lies Down, which is the same one that was released on the live archive box set back in 1999, even though the reason why that one was incomplete was because the person forgot to just I think I thought it was because the tape had run out. That was the reason why they didn't get the ending. But somehow they got the ending from somewhere. I don't know how they got it. So they got the ending of it and the 2 encores as well. So that's
and it does.
really, so, I mean,
it is very because it was a different soundboard or something with the musical box and Watch of the Skies last 2 songs after it. But so it does sound noticeably different. But it also feels really complete to have them on there with the whole live show.
I'm sure, yeah. Well, I mean, because it wasn't until like a few years later when this was, because we got that live archive box set for a Christmas present in Spain still. But then I was living in London. I went to a Camden market and I found this was before the days of YouTube, where the bootlegs you had to find CDs of them in markets, flea markets and things like that. And there was one in Camden Market, the famous Camden Market, and there was a CD there of the live in Manchester, the Lamb Shouts live in Manchester, and I've still got it somewhere. There was a bootleg.
I think
version.
I've seen that floating around a time too. Yeah,
and of course the banter between Peter and the crowd and everything is hilarious. This is Genesis in Manchester. So anyway, but then it was like, oh, now I finally get to hear how they ended it live. Obviously, the live recording just faded out. Plus, it was a remix of the album. They just had to remix the album version, which of course just fades out. So it was nice to actually hear what they did live and at the same time hear what the encores are. So again,
I guess that's actually one thing that occurs to me too, that did end in 2025, which is the wonderful Genesis bootleg site. I think it's Genesis The Movement. Sadly, they got shut down for some reason.
Yeah,
so that was the end of that, and that was a wonderful place to find rare stuff.
Right after who's that guy who had his YouTube channel that he discovered all this?
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, and then it turned out to be a bunch of hot
audio material. Yeah,
yeah,
from all these Genesis recordings and film recordings and everything, and he had this, and then the very next day, Movement's closed.
Yeah,
as if like.
But YouTube does have a ridiculous amount of incredible stuff. I mean, there was one guy who was just putting up every show he had of every tour. It's like everything is up there. As bad as it sounds, it's up there, and the quality and everything, it's aming. Yeah. So there's still YouTube
it is true
to help you.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully, we're now in the day and age where, back in the day when we would get the likes of, for example, the Mama Tour on VHS, whatever, and as far as we were concerned, those 10 songs that was played on that tour,
that was it.
That was the set list. That was what they were doing. Oh, they're opening with Abacab. Cool. No, they didn't. They actually opened with Dodo. So, all right. And then from Mama, they went into Illegal Alien. No, they didn't. They had this really awesome 1970s medley that began with 11th Earl of Mar and things like this.
Yes, that crazy one.
All this stuff. And yes, they did play Los Endos on that tour as well. And all these things. And so finding it out afterwards, it's like, oh. But then again, thankfully, tons of footage from that tour, audio footage from that tour, that shows the complete set list. And
wasn't there also, I'm trying to remember what it was. It was some video footage from somewhere in Canada. I can't remember what tour it was now, but something that surfaced this year too. Maybe it was.
Oh, this year.
Invisible Touch Tour. I can't remember which one it was. Yeah, I think it was Invisible Touch Tour with some Supper's Ready footage. A little better than what we've had before.
Oh, instead of the Boston one,
which is I think I see something over there. What are those shadows?
Oh, it was like a Boston Stadium, and when the song starts, the guys are going, "It's Supper's Ready!" because they jump into Apocalypse and 9/8.
Yes,
yeah, and
in the cage medley. Yep.
Yeah. And the goosebump moment was the 2 guys screaming, "It's Supper's Ready!" But okay, I haven't heard about that.
Same.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I think so.
But
anyway,
also,
it's been a good year for stuff.
Yeah, and I do believe it might have been this year, very early this year, that they actually saw footage with them rehearsing Do the Neurotic as well.
Oh, that's right. What is it? Video footage or was it just audio?
Video footage.
It was? Okay.
Video footage as well.
I didn't see that one. I thought it was just audio.
Let's try and find that again. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I believe some other footage of them actually with doing the Invisible Touch tour. Yeah. I believe. I mean, I know they played in Montreal, but I believe they played somewhere else as well, which I think other footage came out this year, quite professionally filmed as well and everything. So, yeah.
I mean, anyway, it seems like maybe since they're pretty much, for the most part, except for Steve and Mike and Peter, retired and done with that, and now that someone else owns the music, it seems like there's lots of people trying to dig up stuff and searching through holes and attics and spaces
Yeah.
everywhere to find stuff, you know.
That seems to be the case. Yeah. So,
So, what
yeah.
else have we got for your notes? Are we moving on to 2026 yet? What else have we got for 2026 that might be happening? I don't know.
No, that's pretty much it that I have
Uh,
for me here.
oh, the other thing I've heard is, well, they did announce probably earlier in the year that Peter Gabriel is doing another album, and it's going to be
Yes.
called drumroll. Oh, I,
Oh,
not I-O. Oh, I, outside in.
that's true. Yeah, there was written passages that they were back in the studio the whole lot.
And that happened later in the year too. That a few guys. It
Yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who it was now. It wasn't Tony Levin. It was someone else. I can't remember who it was, but they were saying they'd had a few sessions in the studio.
Yep. Yeah, but with the same band.
Yeah. It was usually, well, last time it was Tony Levin releasing it, or whatever. And
So the big question is then, what's Peter's plan? Is he going to do the same thing again, like that he did in 2024?
I mean, it
So
was
let's
kind of
see.
cool that we got one song a month, and it was like, okay, way to drag it out, but it's also fun to have something exciting for you, hopeful for each month, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I still think it was
Yeah,
crazy that he lammed it by releasing the album at the end of the year after most of the tour was
especially
done.
when then we had that huge. Oh, it wasn't 2020. Was it 2024? Was it 2023? He did that. I
23, I think now.
23, yeah. 23, sorry. I'm getting my dates confused. We are so out of touch with all this stuff. That, I saw him earlier that year in 2023,
Yep.
and then you saw him much, much later in that year. And it turns out that
October,
not only had he released more songs before I got to hear
I think
them,
I had four
but
more
apparently
songs than you did or something. Yeah,
he,
a
he
quarter of
even
an album.
added more. He added more stage production too.
Yes.
you were saying, the thing he did
Always-
with his hand on the painting.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
like,
always-
what are you
he's always
talking about?
improvising,
He's like,
yep.
oh yeah, he's doing this stuff, and I'm like, I didn't get any of that. I didn't get any of that. Yeah. Anyway, that's just Peter for you, isn't it?
Check out our Peter Gabriel tour episode for that. Yeah.
True. I did read one thing, I believe, on Wikipedia, just only literally a few days ago. A quote from Phil this year, I believe. I can't remember who it was, but he was asked about any lust for new songwriting and everything like that. He just says because of his health issues and everything like that, he just is not up for it. He does not see himself doing it. So
The way I've always, and that's the other thing we never really talked about that we wanted to talk about, was the documentary they released. Was it earlier last year?
from Drumeo,
Yeah.
from Drumeo, yes, that was this year. That was January this year.
Yeah, earlier this year, yeah, because it's recorded the year before and stuff. Yeah, and we wanted to talk a bit about
Yep.
that again. I really got the feel, just to give you a tidbit from that, after watching that he knows he can't play ever again or do any of this, and to the point where it's just painful for him. It's like
Yep.
looking at a picture of a dead loved one or something like that. That just like you
Yeah.
you look at it and you love it, but you also miss it incredibly, and it's incredibly painful, and you don't want to be close to it.
Yeah, you can tell that not only physically is it hurting him, but definitely here and here in his heart. His
Yep.
heart, it's hurting him the most.
Yeah.
Mike Rutherford, I remember Mike Rutherford hearing that. He said like he just feels like it's just he feels like not completely, but he feels like he could have the willpower if he really just told himself like, I'm going to sit down and I'm just going to not jump straight on it, but little by little, just do a little bit every single day. He feels like he could get back into it. But
Maybe,
apparently his
but-
spine is just not in the best shape, and his hands are physically in pain when he holds sticks and
Yeah.
things like this. So
Well, and that's the thing.
That
And
is
as we
just
all
it.
know, Phil is the utmost perfectionist in everything. So I don't. That's why I don't think he's like, I'm not going to half do it just to be able to half do it and have it not sound good, and I'll be disappointed. You're lying to yourself that way, and I can understand he's not the sort of person that would be okay with that. So
But
I
no,
think that thing is done
Yeah.
pretty much.
I would love to though discuss that, because it really was a thrilling
Yes, the interview,
thing
yeah.
to see. I had goosebumps and even tears a lot of the times throughout that and everything.
And watching Nick when they're pulling out the drum kit and he's trying it and stuff.
that
and-
was
yeah.
brilliant. Yeah.
And he's like, he sat on this stool. How can he sit on this? It's horrible.
Yeah, it was really shocking to see this stuff. It's like, oh my god, he's still using things that he had in the 70s. But then
Well, I think
because
it's telling
he just
why he
got-
is in the condition he's in too. But we can talk about that in the
yeah.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We'll come to that. So yeah, lots to come up. Lots to come up then next year. I think there's like 4 different things we're gonna at least.
Well,
talk
then
about next
there's
year, so-
Steve Hackett's touring again, and he's doing a kind of greatest hits. Is it? I can't remember. I don't remember exactly
No,
what it
he's
was.
doing. He's doing. Well, he's going to be doing like what's it called? An anniversary to both Trick of the Tail.
Oh, that's right.
And
Wind and
Wuthering.
Yes.
Because it's 2026, 50 years, and obviously as this is the 70s, you just release an album every month. So you got Trick of the Tail and Wind and Wuthering. They released in the fall of that same year, and he's going to be paying tribute to both albums. Yeah, and of course, Wind and Wuthering, which I did see him pay tribute to. I'm presuming then 2016, which was fantastic. But yeah, so he's going to be doing that next year.
And then the other thing is, which got announced just a couple weeks ago, is the musical box tour. Then there was Phil. I think
And
they're
then
calling it.
I have to give a shout out to Chris Barnes, Australian
Yes.
people singer Chris Barnes, because he sent me a photo of saying, "Look what's happening next year."
He sent it to both of us.
I think it's the first time ever. Yeah, he told me that. I think it's the first time ever that they're touching in this era. I believe the musical box. And then there were 3 era, the Mirrors tour. They're going to be touring.
Right. So they're going to
Mirrors
cover Trick, Wind and Wuthering, and then there were 3. Yeah, it's very exciting.
Yeah, which is like by far the latest. So yeah, and it's cool, and it's going to be called. And then there was Phil, which is fantastic.
Very
so
exciting stuff.
that's going to be
Yeah.
very cool. That's going to be very, very cool. Yeah, well, I'm presuming they're going to have the whole Mirrors thing, and, well, replicating that entire tour. So it's definitely one of their best set lists ever, which is also a future episode for us to discover, which is our favorite set list, and then what is our ideal set list to have. And of course, favorite live versions in this.
I think it clearly has to be the Mama Tour videotape.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, I think the only one that was fully complete was the Way We Walk video that had the whole set list on it, unedited, complete.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a V8. That was a tape. That was a videotape.
A long videotape.
Why? What was wrong with that then? So
Actually, I think
shorter
I
in the
probably said it
80s?
before, but that's one thing I'd love. They would just throw out some time is re-releasing Genesis Live from 73, 72, 72, I think.
73.
73. And making it the double album they thought about for a second and then chose not to do. That would be kind of
That's
beautiful.
true.
Yeah.
That would be. Well, apparently that's sitting out there somewhere is their recording of Supper's Ready from that.
Well, I
tour,
mean, it's
so-
on the archive box set, which again is not on vinyl. So you need to fix that, guys. Yeah. Vinyl is all the
that's
rage
true.
now.
That is true. Oh, and one last thing. The Genesis, again, this was something that came out this year. A show back in the 70s, and Genesis back in the heyday with Peter, the Midnight Special that came out earlier this year as well. Yes.
I didn't hear about that. I don't
Watch
think.
it.
What show was like what?
Watch it.
What era?
1970, I think 3, similar year as well. Yeah, called the Midnight Special, and I can't remember for the life of me where it was. Italy, France. I don't know. But anyway, Genesis, the Midnight Special. It was a very big thing that came out for Genesis fanatics and YouTube fans earlier this year. I think maybe summertime, pre-summer. I have no idea, but just YouTube Genesis band Midnight Special. Yeah, and then we'll be there.
Did you like that video I sent you the other day of the Italian orchestra performing Bertha Fifth?
I have not seen it yet.
Oh,
but
okay.
I
I
have
got
not
it
seen yet, but
from
I do intend to, yeah.
someone on the Facebook group shared it for Christmas or something like that, and I shared it with you. And yeah, it's an orchestra performing Bertha Fifth, and then they have a bass guitarist and a guitarist doing the solo and stuff, and it's just very cool to watch
Oh,
the entire orchestra really into this beautiful music, and you're like, this could be like a Beethoven symphony or something, the way it starts and everything. It's so beautiful. And then the guitar, yeah.
Well, actually, you reminded me, one last thing we're going to share here is that one of the things that happened with me this year involving my new life here in this little town in Spain is that you reminded me when you were talking about the guy who was grilling you at the Musical Box concert, how big of a Genesis fan you are. There's this guy here. I was coming out of the school where my daughter was at, and his kids were there too. And I was wearing this shirt, this Genesis top, and he walks right out. He's like a musician, plays a lot of keyboards and drums and things like this and everything. and he saw this T-shirt, and he was like, "Ah, very cool T-shirt. Where'd you get that?" But then he said, "Yeah, but you're missing Trespass. Trespass is not on here." And then for two things happened to me, and I was like, "You know your stuff." And then I was realizing after having this T-shirt since 2007, I was like, "God damn it, the Trespass is not on here." Anyway, so I was like, "You're a fan. You are a fan." And then that same afternoon, he sent me a picture of our Me and Virgil logo faces, and he's texting me saying, "Are you kidding me? You've got a podcast?" So I will somehow make it happen. Share here that we take part, both of us, in these called open mic sessions in this local live venue here just up the road there. And the Friday of almost every month, whatever, all of us, bunch of musicians / non-musicians, get together and we just perform a bunch of songs individually or as bands, whatever. We keep messaging each other all week to find out about it. And we tried it 3 attempts. Third time's a charm. Itai and I were like, "Shall we do a Genesis song? Just the two of us." It's like, "What can we do? What can we do?" He's like, "Let's just try and make it simple." And he's like, "Let's do carpet crawlers." He's like, "Great." And he says, "I'll do the keyboards."
Later that to me.
He showed me Tony's notes, and he's like, "That Tony's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy." Anyway, we finally made it happen.
True.
I had to play on the house kit, so it's not a left-handed kit. It was a right-handed kit, and both of us, we shared the singing as well. So I will somehow make it what I'll share with you. Quality's not great, our singing's not great, but the fact being that we're there playing, and we wanted to wear, he had a Musical Box t-shirt, he had seen the Musical Box a year before that, and I had my Genesis t-shirt, but unfortunately not on this night. So, but anyway, we still did it, and
isn't that the dream, the fantasy one has, the thing where you go out somewhere in a Genesis shirt and someone like says, "Oh, your shirt," and you're like, that's what you want. You want a crazy fan to come up to you, and then you can talk to each other and enjoy the moment. You always wish that's going to happen, so I'm glad it happened to you.
Yeah, and even the last open, again, the guy showed me like what a fanatic he is. That the last open mic, we were doing a song, a whole bunch of us, not with him, but a song, "Stand By Me," Benny King, right? And on the "Stand By Me," if those of you familiar with it, the percussion, literally the drums, is just a shaker, like, well, not shaker. I think it's I've forgotten the name of it now, but it's this sort of like a Latin American instrument that goes like this, and a triangle.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So my contribution to that was I literally had this can of beans from my percussion group with rice in it. I was just going. And I actually had these belly dance cymbals.
Yeah,
because my wife was a belly dancer.
Perfect.
And she had these cymbals. So I was going shaking this and it's going ding. After that was done, Itai, the Genesis fanatic, he's like, "Very cool, you use that. It's like Phil in Twilight Ale House going ding." I'm like, "Yes, it is." So it's like, "Oh, dude, I love you.
He's probably saying that because he saw Musical Box perform it. Which I didn't get to see them perform that song, but they did it for that Genesis live tour.
There you go. That's it.
Very cool.
That's it.
I think that covers it, doesn't it? I think we've
I believe so.
got all the things we wanted to do. Set some hopes for the new year.
See, I told you we'd make it in half an hour. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
That's it.
Well, people, once again, for those of you who are tuning in and everything, who have returned, we thank you very, very humbly for sticking with us. Again, it's been quiet for us, but next year, as you've heard now, if you've stuck with us in this entire episodes, lot coming up next year for us. And we're gonna make it the plan to obviously make it more consistent, get back to at least an episode per month again. So yeah, I mean, dear Virgil, what would you say we should kick off with then at the start of this new year? Then what would be the most appropriate thing? Oh, right, he's turning towards that. I mean, I've got a window open right now, so I can't actually see. So yeah, I suppose that makes most sense. The biggest probably release.
What, did I say something?
This year is probably that woolen animal.
And I have a feeling this might end up because it's got to be is it just the box set, or are we talking about the lamb as well?
Both.
So I think it might end up being, I don't know, maybe not just a 2-parter, maybe a 4-parter.
All right, I see, because of talking about that. Well, yeah, we'll have to.
We'll see what happens, or a 3-parter. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to look at that. Well, I mean, because it's just very briefly. So obviously, it's the lamb in its new surround mix. Then it's the live recording. Yeah, and then it's these like unreleased demo versions, these sort of things, right? Unreleased things, and then I think it's just the Lamb again in a different mix. Am I correct?
Well, there's the Dolby Atmos surround sound mix they have, yeah,
Yes.
too, yeah. There's also other extra goodies in there that we'll talk about when we cover it.
Yeah. So I think that'd be a good start, at least then, because obviously we're a bit behind schedule with our
Before they
episode on
release
that,
something
so
else.
before they get something else out there, we should do that then.
I guess, well, and we wish everyone, hope they had a wonderful, happy holiday with everyone, family and friends and everything. And then wishing you a happy new year, just around the corner. And then, Dad, I'm going to hit you with a question. What are they going to release next? What's the next Genesis release?
Oh, God. Well, hopefully something to do with Trick of the Tail. Would be quite cool. Because
That's
is 50
also
years.
that is also what Mike and Tom talked about on the Tabletop Genesis episode. They were hoping for a Trick of the Tail box set, which would be
They should release it on March 26th, because that is the anniversary of Phil's first concert with Genesis as their lead singer.
and Peter can't be involved to stall it.
No, we cannot. True. So then it's that shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, I would say that would be the next best thing.
Well,
No doubt.
to counteract that, I'll say it's going to be a Wind and Wuthering box set.
Well,
Released
again, if
in
you
November
YouTube-
or whatever it came out.
If you YouTube, there's tons of instrumental versions of the trick songs. That they had the music there, and then they just wanted to get some lyrics because obviously they were still looking for a singer.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be great stuff to release.
Gosh, imagine if they released some. I don't know if I wanted it on the album though. That would be cool as a download of some of the auditions of the other singers.
Well, I was just going to say, with permission,
Yes,
let them
obviously,
release
yeah.
some of the auditions.
That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Especially because there were rumors
That would
about
be
some of the
really-
people that did it, and then they got okay to do that. It'd be very neat. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll come to that as well, because one of the names did come to me, and it was almost this person that was going to get it.
Freddie
And
Mercury,
then yes. And then unfortunately just couldn't reach the notes. And then of course the whole story about that Phil gave it a go, and the rest is history. So yeah. So that would be very cool. Very, very
Yes.
cool. Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Because then
everything's crossed for that. If that
let's
might
see
happen,
what
we'll
happens.
see.
Because you got that album, first album with Phil as lead singer, and then the same year you got Wind and Wuthering, the last album to feature Steve Hackett. So both
We'll see,
memorable
yeah.
moments in the band's
And to tie it in with Steve's tour and everything would be great. Yeah.
well, there you go. There you go. So March 26th, lads. All right, it's the best date for
No
it.
pressure.
Phil's first day as lead singer.
And you've had to have
No
been
pressure.
keeping this all secret for like a year.
Yes, because again, that was the date of the final Genesis concert ever that they did. What was it?
Best Ensemble?
2 years ago. Yeah, 2023.
Best sense on.
What? No, London.
Oh,
What the-
I thought the
No,
Lamb
when they
one
had their
you saw
No, Phil. Like
Oh,
with
right,
with
yeah.
just the last show ever,
Yeah,
Ever,
yeah.
ever,
Yeah,
ever.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah,
Which
yeah. At the
which
O2.
appropriately was March 26th. So I don't know if that was on purpose. If Tony Smith worked his magic with that, but or
If
just
there was
a
anyone who would care and
wonderful-
work that magic, I think it would be Tony Smith who would be able to do that. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, no doubt.
Okay.
No doubt.
Well, thank you again, and stay tuned. We'll
Thank
be
you
back
all, people.
Hopefully soon. In
Happy New Year, all,
2026.
from me
Yep.
and Virgil. We'll see you next year. We'll see you on the other side.
Remember, spread the word. Tell everyone about the show and the podcast.
To do with this band. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the podcast. Yes. Okay. This is goodbye from me,
And goodbye from Virgil.
and goodbye from 2025.
I'll
So-
do the Tony bow, which he would always do when he'd be introduced to the band. Just a nod. That's all you get. No smile. Just a nod.
No smile. No smile. Moments where he'll be a reaction from if the crowd's really ecstatic, he'll be like, oh.
That was what was really disturbing about that little interview thing with the radio station, was him laughing and smiling. It was really good to see. Tony
Oh, between Tony and Steve, basically, yeah.
and Phil and Mike. Yeah, just everything. Just so
Mike.
nice to have them back together again and enjoying each other's
I know,
company. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And they're like bouncing off each other and everything. We should send a link. We'll leave a link with that as well.
Definitely,
This is really
definitely.
wonderful.
All right.
Yeah.
See you in 2026.
2026, the year of trick and wind.
Me and Virgil chop some wood, but we stop by swinging just to listen to a cry.
Thank you for listening to Me and Virgil, a Genesis Brothers podcast. Be sure to subscribe so you can get new episodes as soon as they're released. feel free to rate and review wherever you get your podcasts, and be sure to mention us to your Genesis friends so you can agree or disagree with what we talked about on the show. Me and Virgil, a Genesis Brothers podcast, is edited by Dan Telander and produced and hosted by Dan Telander, aka me, and Alex C. Telander, aka Virgil. If you'd like to reach us to let us know what you thought about this episode, or if you wanted to correct something we were very wrong about, you can reach us at meandvirgilpod@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Looking for someone.
You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok under the handle meandvirgilpod for announcements and info about the show, as well as anything else we think you'd be interested in related to all things Genesis. For now, thanks again for listening. We really appreciate it, and see you on the next episode of Me and Virgil, a Genesis Brothers podcast.
Well, me and Virgil, we beat the desert by riding fast and riding hard. We hit the city, the past behind us, so we raised some hell. We had some fun, and to this day, I can hear my saying to me, "You're a big boy now."
Some tricky wind